Hello friends, my name is RagePanda1, and you know what? This female doesn't look quite as bad in the actual game as she did on the little screenshot we saw on their YouTube video yesterday, so I'm happy about that. You can see her arm and hand that I was complaining about are all fully detailed. The creepy line down her face is still a little bit there, but you know, that's not as egregious, so let's see what else we got. We got 1 ad, 2 ads, 3 ads, this one being the same as the other one, 4 ads, 5 ads, a notice about the game being broken. Cool, 6 things to click through when I start the game up. That's what I want. All right, so we still have our daily top-up plan going on for this one, but you know what? This one's 99 cents. That's right, only 99 cents, and you're getting extra bonuses. So that's kind of cool, although obviously and very clearly they had to change this because they had the plan to do the same thing with the city, and then that's the big reward at the end, right? That's why there's no big reward at the end of this one, but I'm fine with that. They took this apart and dismantled it because we didn't like it. So that's another step in the direction of them listening to us and doing stuff that we said that we wanted. And we should give them credit when they do that because I have been very hard on them for the things that they're not doing right, so it's only fair that I give them credit for doing the right thing. Now we also have a daily spend of diamonds, which has similar rewards. Similar, but not the same. And we have a total top-up, which is just, if you spend this much, you get the thing. This one we have to click on to see that it's a way to get old companion shards, which is pretty cool, but I bet nobody's happy that it doesn't have all of the event companions in here, because we all know which one we would be looking at. Also, these numbers get a little crazy, like real quick. 30, 60, okay, that makes sense. People would spend that much. 100, wow, you must have a lot of extra coin in your pocket there jiggling around. Well, actually, your money probably don't jiggle, it folds if you're spending $100 on this game. And then you keep scrolling down, you're like, 1,000 US dollars. Okay. If anybody's spending $1,500 US on this game for Christmas event, I want you to fold that money back up and put it in your pocket, drive yourself over to therapy, and then hand the therapist that money and say, please fix me because something broken. You do not need to spend $1,500 on this game for the Christmas event. And then we have the total diamond spending. Now I've complained about these random champion things before, but I was complaining about the 2-star ones. These are 3-star ones, and that's really good because those are really good for Ascension materials. And so at 7K to get 5 of those, that's a great reward actually. That's actually a good reward where if I was going to be spending money on this, I'd be really happy that I was getting that. And keep in mind, if you're doing your daily top up, daily spend, total top up, total spend, a lot of those are going to work together and you're going to get multiple versions of rewards. So, you know, a lot of this is a nice bonus. These 3-star tokens, especially at the 7K mark, like it's pretty reasonable to spend 7,000 diamonds. That's a great reward. I'm happy to see it. And I'm glad that when I'm looking at this stuff that they're monetizing, I have some good things to say about it. I think that's a really good thing. There's plenty bad I could say about it too, but we're not going to focus on any of that. Okay, so we've got our purchase packs as well. Wow, there's a lot of ways to monetize this event. First things first, we were speculating about how we were going to get our city. Our city is now here in a one-time purchase, and it's the same price. So they didn't really fix anything there, did they? And you don't really get nothing else. Some extra fireworks and stuff. This is not a good deal. This is not a good fix. You people are crazy, Goat Games. This should have been at maximum a $30 pack, and I still would have been telling you it's too much. Realistically, it should be 20 bucks. We're talking about a skin for the city. You're selling people a JPEG for $50. What is wrong with you? So yeah, at least they tried to go in the right direction, but get your heads out of your butts. Nobody wants to spend $50 for a JPEG. Get real. I'm also going to say here just a little suggestion on my part for when they're monetizing their events and everything. When we come and look at our value packs and we have these big events on, they should just be putting all of them out. Or at least on the weekend of the event, like maybe at the end or whatever, they should put all of the value packs out, especially for Christmas. It's Christmas, come on. Also, doesn't it make you nervous when they do stuff like change how this looks? Pretty sure that's the same deal for the same price, but it just doesn't look the same. I'll get used to it, but I don't love it. I don't want change. This one is probably not the same deal, and don't remember wedding rings being in there before. It seems like a perfectly reasonable deal. Wedding rings are good. This is barely twice the price of that one, so I ain't hating too much. I would buy those. And you can see as we go down the line here, we're slowly losing value on our actual intimacy objects in favor of getting more other things, so I don't think you want to do that. I would buy out the first two. If you buy out all the first one, then you can start working on the second one. These diamonds are meant to be for intimacy. We're not looking for the other stuff. All right, we gotta click the thing, boys. Season's greetings. Am I gonna show this to the whole server? That would be cool. That would be a nice little thing they're doing. Here, we'll do this one. Do you know the Muffin Man? We having fun, y'all. We having fun. Okay, so there's more to this event than just buying and spending. Let's check it out. We've got our Astral tree. I have 2 little items. I had 240 starlight to contribute. And if you were wondering, this is Battle Pass, basically. Nothing wrong with that. You know, it's gaming these days. We're going to have a Battle Pass. That's a pretty good first reward. Look at all these summoning stones in here, you know? Unfortunately, a lot of getting this stuff is tied to spending money. But if we look at their $20 premium track, they actually have good stuff in here now. They used to have 2-star champion packs. Now they got a ton of great books, an amount of stones that I could actually support people getting into, and companion parts and stuff like that. Now, they don't have the mythic version of our Gultung in there, but these rewards, if you're a spender, a casual spender, this is worth 20 bucks. I wouldn't really complain about that. And it's good to see them getting some of this stuff in line with, you know, where it's got some value to it. It's not just a bunch of crap. So that makes me happy. If you looked at this info screen and you thought too long, not gonna read it, I'll help you out. Basically, you can get the elemental spirits by participating in activities, completing event quests, and purchasing festival packs. That's how you're gonna grow your tree. All guild members win a level reward for each level the tree gains. By growing the tree, you gain some starlight, which can be used in the Astral shop to buy some stuff, which we'll talk about in just a minute. And there is going to be rankings based on how much starlight you actually earn. The guilds as well will be ranked, and rewards will be given out per guild. And if you have any elemental spirits left at the end of the event, you'll get 10,000 times that much in food. So that's all pretty cool. If we click on our points exchange here, we see a nifty little store. Are you kidding me? Now, some of this stuff is pretty expensive, obviously. I haven't done much in these events yet because my time is very limited until after Christmas. But once again, we have good things in here that people would actually want to buy. I'm impressed. I can't exactly speak to how long it's going to take and if these prices are worth it, but to be able to just straight up buy a token for picking your own mythic, that's pretty cool. Especially when it's all event companions that are not currently available to us. And of course, if you're only a couple of these champion shards away, now you get to finish your thing, and we're happy with that. They're putting more and more ways to get access to these companions, and while this one can be bought with monetary means, that's not the only way that you can go about getting it, and I think that's, again, a really good thing. All in all, their monetization of this event is considerably better than in previous events, and I'm okay with that. So we've got our guild points leaderboard here, and we've got some rewards here that are nice, but they don't really, it's not that big of a deal if you don't win the guild one, right? But you're gonna get some books and some gold, and probably the most interesting things to me here are either the token rewards or the gold coins here. Obviously, books and the 50 chests are a great thing, but we could all use a little more intimacy and a little more levels on our equipment. And for the personal rewards, if you win this one, you're going away with 25 stones and what looks like a permanent crazy wolf mask. The old furry Santa, you know? Unfortunately, this exact challenge is fully pay to win. If there's a pay to win aspect to it, it becomes fully pay to win. And that's probably what that's going to be, but those are bonus rewards and not essential to your account, so I don't mind that at all. Now, this is a little bit tricky here because if you're like me and you looked at this on a phone originally, that's what I did, this looked like it was giving us a mythic. And I was like, there's no way they're giving us just everybody gets one of the mythics for free. If you can hear my kids in the background, I apologize. They're having fun. They got a snow day from school today. So yeah, just log in for 7 days. I believe this is an epic. It looks pretty clear to be an epic on this screen, but on my phone, it could have gone either way. So they could have been a little more careful with that one. And so now we've got a bunch of quests to do every day. And let me tell you something. Bloodline, if you had more stuff like this, now I know that they kind of have something like this for daily quests, but they get pretty repetitive and they're not exactly drawing me back to the game. But if you had stuff like this where I could farm stuff out and actually get rewards by playing the game, then you would be retaining me as a player and you'd be keeping me in the game. One thing that I've noticed playing Raid, which there will be a new video coming out this week for, is that I can go through the story and I can farm the story to get stuff that helps my account. And the progress is slow. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of work, but I'm getting something towards my account, which I can't do in this game unless I want to go do Dungeon Descent, and then that's really not the same thing, and it's only one type of content that I can even try to farm, and it's on a 3-day cooldown. So this game just doesn't have stuff like that where I can come in and play the game and get rewards, and this sort of adds to that a little bit. I know, we got our other daily quests, but it's not the same for me. You know, those don't exactly keep me retained into the game. Having some newer ones to tackle will be interesting for this week. They're not gonna change the game if they start adding all of those in, but they need to start thinking more in that direction of allowing us to farm stuff like previous campaign stages to actually get some rewards. Imagine being able to farm books or farm tokens or gear that you can level up your equipment with. Would you go back and farm equipment that you could put into your current equipment to level it up? I bet just about all of us would do that because we all want that power, but we don't have any good way to farm our equipment right now. But if we could go back through campaign and hit different thresholds where we start getting higher and higher level equipment, and then that's going to be worth more for leveling up our mythic equipment. Even when we're at the top end of the game, maybe you get to chapter 30 and now you're just straight up farming mythics and having yourself a great time. I think people would love that. Like, I want to be able to click on here and go back and do some of this stuff and experience the story again. Maybe you got impatient and you skipped it and you want to be able to do it again. Bloodline, people, you're doing some good work now. You're headed in the right direction. You need something like this that we can play and affect our account and gain power by actually farming the game. That's the biggest thing missing right now from Bloodline, in my opinion. That and a little bit of quality assurance. So of course we've got our extra drops here. You don't need to really read this. This is just tokens for the battle pass. Same drops like you got with the turkeys and the pumpkins. Now we also have a guild top-up thing. I'm not sure how I feel about this one. I'm not super sure how I feel about this one. I do feel like it could be good for camaraderie. People might be talking about, hey man, we only need like $5 more. Hook it up, spend it. I don't know. I don't think that encouraging people to pressure other people to spend their money is the way to go about the thing. I don't think that it necessarily was a malicious plan, but I think that it could become malicious pretty quickly. You could have people kicking people out of guilds if they refuse to spend and stuff like that. So that being said, it is any amount, and they do have the $1 packs and they do have the $1 rewards. So, I mean, you can participate in this without really breaking your bank account, but I don't know. I still don't love it. I think initially I feel like it's kind of cool, but then when I think about it, I think it's probably not the best idea. Okay, so we also have new models for our griffins. He's got a crazy wound. Call that a wound. His axe is looking all crazy. Looks a little sharper in detail, kind of even a little younger. All in all, I would actually say this is pretty good. He looks good. I feel like the crazy burning veins thing is maybe a little excessive. He's got the corruption going in here. Yeah, I like it. And our female has got the same axe, of course, and she just looks a little sharper in general too. I'm glad they're not like full redesigns. They just made it look nicer, and I can appreciate that. You know, nobody was forcing them to do that. Maybe one of the artists just decided, I'm tired of looking at this one, it bothers me, and they went and fixed it. Could have used a bit of a thicker handle on the old bardiche there, but you know, it is what it is. And she sure do be undulating, don't she? Dang, girl, she's just flapping that finger around. Reminds me of Gail from Letterkenny, you know, the one that runs Modine's. She's just always undulating like crazy. But it looks good. Good change. Now that they're actually in the game, I'm willing to take a look at these stats and decide whether or not I think they're going to be good or not so good. Now that the strengths have been changed among people, we know that this is a good amount of strength. So I have a feeling that the female's ultimate is going to be doing just a ton of damage. Absolutely huge. Her cone-shaped attack as well is going to be doing a lot of damage, but getting that to hit the right people in practice might be a little bit more challenging. It's going to do a lot of damage, but getting the most out of that damage is going to maybe require a little bit of extra play on your part. So for our male's ultimate here, we get our huge increased attack speed. All normal attacks are causing critical damage and doing their tiny little baby knockback. And now healing for 100% of damage dealt. I thought that said 50% before, but I've been wrong before. It is what it is. That's really strong. And if you are going to be using this guy, I think you should probably be using the Speedy Boy build because you want to be in this state as much as possible. So that is definitely big timing. I think this might be one rare case where you might be able to get rid of energetic on your character and take the agile, focused, brutal, and fierce, and you might be really happy with that. It depends on if you're getting absolutely one shot or not. If you're not getting one shot, you're gonna be fine. If you're getting one shot, you need that extra energetic. Again, his AoE silence is very, very good. So I think that the male is probably better than he looked without any of the percentages sitting next to him. This now says a 40% chance to be a critical. It said a 30% chance to be a critical before. And it also is increasing damage by 100%, which I think it said a lower number on that as well. I don't know. I don't remember and I'm too lazy to go look. So actually I think that both of these characters are really good and you're gonna have a good time with them. I think the female's better. She's definitely better and the energy control is what you're looking for. This also now says it consumes 200 energy where it said 100 before. And now the normal attack drain is by 80 points instead of 40 points like it said before. So a couple of people said in the comments like, go look at their stats, it shows them in the game. And this is why I don't do that, because you'll end up coming into the game when they actually exist and then they're different. Now maybe it's just different from what it said on the YouTube video, but I clicked through a little bit in the game as well. I just don't trust those stats until the character's actually released, because they always get changed. So I don't think that anybody should be speculating based on the stats that it shows in the pre-release section of the game. It's just not a good plan. They just change it too often. But there you go. These characters are not mandatory for any of the districts, so do not summon them for that purpose, although they are good characters, and you should have a good time with them if you choose to play with them. Personally, I don't have the stones. I have 63 stones right now. I have 8k gems. I can't really get away with summoning, even just to try them out. And of course, you always get the male first, and the male is always worse. And while we're talking about changes that Bloodline can make to make the game more player-friendly, I think that this whole system with everything that you unlock in it should be 200 summons, and no more than that ever. I think it should always stop at 200 summons. Making it 300 is a bit excessive, and I think that you just kind of annoy people by doing that. 200 summons, you still have to try to get 200 summons. It's not like you're just going to be handed 200 summons and you're going to go about your day being happy getting every single companion. You still have to work for it and play the game and plan well to be able to get those 200 summons. And I think people who play the game every day, they're working hard, they're saving their resources. If you're doing all of that, you should be able to get every single companion as a free-to-play account. Obviously, if you're playing that hard, either you love the game so you're spreading the good word and sharing it, or you're casually spending in the first place to get some extra stuff that you want. There's no reason to just make it extra difficult and make it literally impossible to get all of the stuff, no matter how hard you're playing as a free-to-play account. I just don't think that's valuable. Most people aren't going to play that hard anyway, so what are you really losing? So I think that about covers all of the stuff in the event. I think they're doing a really good job with this event. There's some stuff obviously that I would change, but for all of us who have been frustrated with Bloodline, we can put ourselves at ease a little bit more knowing that they're at least making an attempt to do the right thing with the game. They've got a long way to go, but at least they're on the right track. So if you like hearing the way that my brain works and I brought you some value with this video, then I would invite you to subscribe and toss me a like. But for now, I am going to thank you for watching the video. I have been RagePanda1, and I'll see you in the next one.